Coke, although, has seen a downtick in trade today. It's down by about 12 odd percent, 11% right now as we speak, because net profit was down 40%. But this was because of a direct tax adjustment which has taken place. I don't know how Street is reading that exactly, but it's just a one-time, deferred tax adjustment which has been made, which is why the net profit is down. Otherwise, the numbers look fairly well. But it's feeling the pain right now. It's down by about 11 odd percent. So all of these counters, Alex, buzzing on the back of results. So it's, all of these counters are just right now buzzing on the back of earnings only. Yeah. And of course, the US tariffs.
And some of that will settle down even over the course of the day. Tata Chemicals was another stock on my radar, which is down or was down. Let's see how that is right now. Let's very quickly pull up the chart. Yeah, it's still down about 5%. Surprise loss for this company in the third quarter, and erosion in margins. Soda ash is the problem area for this particular counter. But let's get our experts in for the day. We've got Swati Hotkar and Asta Jain joining us this morning. Good morning to the both of you, and thanks so much as always for taking the time. And we've also incidentally got our first caller. By the way, if you're tuning in for the first time and we haven't told you this, you can write to us on the WhatsApp number that is up there, or you can call us on the number that is down there. And we will be glad to speak to you either way. Our first caller is A. Mohan, who's calling us from Telangana. Morning, Mr. Mohan. How can we help you today?
Good morning, sir.
Good
How are you, sir?
Very well, sir. Please tell me, what's your question for us today?
My question is that Apollo Microsystems. Yesterday only I bought 100 shares for 123.
Right.
Again, I want to buy it some more 200 or 300.
Yeah, okay. Why do you like this company?
Yes, I like it. It supplies the spare parts for the HAL and other war systems.
Okay, so you like it fundamentally, and you want to know whether you should add more to your position at this point. I got your question. Asta, on the fundamentals, then he is bought very recently, as recent as yesterday. Does he add more to his position, and what is the upside potential based on what you're reading on the fundamentals?
Hi, good morning to all of you. So I think today he should wait, because today is the result day for this counter. The company is set to announce its number on 4th of February, that is today. So definitely I want to just suggest him just hold the quantity whatever he has right now. Recently also the stock was in the news because they have entered into the MOU with GRSE, Garden Reach Shipbuilders. So this counter is fundamentally looking very strong to me, but the only thing is that right now what we are seeing in the results, that there are some dent in the margins. So I would really like to see how this company is going to perform on those all fronts, and therefore I am advising right now not to add more. Just wait for 24 hours and the results will be out, and I think again he can ask the query in the same show.
Right, so that's the view coming in on Apollo Microsystems. Wait and watch for the results is Asta's view. The next question is from Ikambarai. His question is on CDSL. He's bought 25 shares at 1310 a piece, so he's sitting on a loss of roughly 1,000 odd rupees. He wants to know whether he should keep holding it or exit and book losses at the current levels. Swati, I'll come to you on this one. Your view on CDSL on the charts?
Good morning, all of you. My view is a little bit cautious, but no wonder that we already have seen a very sharp correction from 1980 towards to now 1240 current levels. The stock has entered into the oversold zone, so downside is limited from here onwards. I believe that the stock might find out a very good support at around 1230 to 1220 level. In between that level, we can witness a good support, and slowly and steadily we will see some up move rally towards the 20 days moving average, which comes to at around 1400 and so level. So not at you should not book your losses at the current levels. I will suggest to hold on this particular counter. If you're getting any dips towards to 1220 or 1230 levels, you can add on more quantity so that the average price will come down, and you will be able to exit into the profit if the stocks manages to break the 1400 and levels. About at level 1600s can be seen. So for a shorter term perspective, definitely the view is positive. For a time being, we might witness some sideways consolidation in this particular counter. So it's a hold from my end.
All right, so that's the view coming in on CDSL. I believe we have our next caller lined up. Zenith from Bengaluru is calling in. Zenith, a very good morning to you. How can we help you? I believe you have a query on BSE.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. So earlier, based on Astha ma'am's recommendation as well as logical reasoning, I have sold my BSC shares and booked a profit.
Okay.
And I'd like to know what is the right time to re-enter.
Okay.
In short term, what does the technical chart says? Because the fundamental looks awesome for the long term anyway.
Understood.
So what kind of level we are expecting in short term?
Got your
Shall
query.
we see the 4,500 or something like that?
Sure. So,
Thank you.
Sure. Swati, is that the right, approach towards BSC?
Yes, the overall view on the technical front, sir, is definitely positive. We are witnessing from the last few trades, we have seen some sort of a profit bookings, but the stock manages to take a very strong support of 5,100, and from there onwards, now it has reached up to the 20 days moving average. I believe if you don't want to miss out the rally, at least you should buy the 20 to 30% at the current market price. Downside, 5,100, 5,000 is the very good level where you can again buy the second round of the buying. Upside, I believe if the stocks manages to give the breakout of a 55, 70, 55, 80 levels on the closing basis, then the rally is likely to be extended towards to 6,000 to 6,200 levels. So my view is definitely positive if you don't want to miss the rally, at least by 20-30% at the current markets, and any dips towards to 5,000 or 5,100, you can definitely add on more quantity.
Okay. All right. Raja from Visakhapatnam has got this next question. It's about Gopal Snacks, which he's bought at elevated levels, as much as 512 rupees a piece. The stock is currently trading at 340 or thereabouts. Astha, on the fundamentals, would you hold on to this or would you book losses?
I think I would like to hold on this counter because right now there is no need to book losses, because what we believe over the next few quarters, maybe 3 or 6 months or a 1 or 2 quarter, the company will definitely post strong set of the numbers. We also believe that we can see the rise in the volume, and right now the margins which we are seeing, definitely there can be a hike in the margin also on the basis of the performance which this company will be posting. So we are positive from the futuristic point of view, and that's why I recommend to hold this counter.
All right. We have our next caller, Gaurav, lined up. Gaurav, a very good morning to you. How can we help you?
Hi, good morning. Thanks for accepting my call, first of all. And secondly, I would like to ask, should I hold Mazagon because I invested a bit heavily on it, consuming so I just wanted to ask if it's, should I hold on to it or should I just let it go, because it's been falling. It started with a 2% raise when the market opened, but then again now it's at 1% loss.
Right. You intend to hold this from a longer term perspective. Did you see the fundamentals while buying Mazagon Dock?
Yeah, but the thing is, my 80% of the portfolio is in it. Like, I hold like 300 stocks. Yeah.
All right. Gaurav, I mean, I'm sure Astha will also add on to this, but it's not advisable to have such a high concentration of your portfolio in one particular stock. Astha, he's holding Mazagon Dock. He's sitting on a loss of roughly 20,000 odd rupees right now on the counter. With respect to the kind of, announcements that have come in the budget as well, plus the outlook on this particular counter, and of course your advice on, him not holding 80% of his total portfolio in one particular stock.
Yes, definitely, because the concentration risk is always there. What we have seen that before the budget, everyone was just believing that definitely the government will increase their capex on the defense, on the infra, and that has not been the exact case. So every time if there is issues in the economy, government has to plan their strategies accordingly, and they feel the need to revive the consumption rather than going for this area. So I think it's better. Every sector has their own cycle, so we should not concentrate our portfolio towards only one sector or one stock. And now talking about this counter, their year-to-date order book is very good. I mean, they have more than 70 billion of orders, which I suppose. So order book is very strong. In fact, in the last few quarters, their results were, very good. But now what we are believing that execution we need to see, and that is why the stock is not able to perform on all those fronts. So idea here is to not to add more, but whatever holding you have for Mazagon Dock, remain invested in that.
All right. Hari from Chennai is calling us. Hari, you've got a question on ITC Hotels, right? What is it? Good morning.
Hi. Hey, good morning, Alex.
Good morning.
Talking to you and your team. This is one of the favorite show for me.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Alex. Alex, like my question is regarding ITC Hotels. Say, like I got like 30 after this the demerger.
Yes.
My question is like whether we can accumulate the stock for the longer run, because I don't see any kind of numbers is available to see how is the valuation or anything. So I'm just looking for like a 2 to 3 years of horizon, so that I can start accumulating at a lesser volume, maybe over the course of time. Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, Mahima has tracked this very, very closely. So let me just very quickly, before I toss to Asta, ask her to remind you what the fair value was and what the initial assumption was on ITC Hotels. It has given up some of those, of course, but compared to peers, the multiples now make a little more sense. Is that right?
Absolutely. So the peg was that if it gets listed at 260, the multiple would be around 41 to 42 times in terms of price to earnings. But it got listed much lower than that. So its valuations were around 20 to 29 times, which is in comparison to IHCL. It's almost in line, because IHCL stands at around 27 odd PE right now, 27 times odd PE right now. But another interesting fact, ITC Hotels will be excluded mostly from BSE today if it doesn't hit a lower circuit, and this will be decided in the last 30 minutes of trading. This is from BSE. NSE is still expected, but from BSE it will be removed from the Nifty 50 today itself.
Yeah, and very interesting perspective also, Hari. A short while back, I would encourage you to just do a quick search for ITC Hotels on NDTVProfit.com. I'll tell you why. The reason is that we'd spoken with the management not too long back, and they'd spoken about the kind of additions that they have. Was it 30 hotels?
No. So what they've said is that they'll do 180 hotels
180
by
hotels,
the end of FY30.
But it was more than expected.
Which was more than expected. They said they'll do 176, but then they've revised their guidance, and they said that they'll do 186. 180.
So long story short, and we've spent a lot of time on this, but it is a stock that a lot of you will be interested in, particularly because you probably held ITC and you've got an allocation of ITC Hotels. But Asta, on the fundamentals, would you hold on to this? Would you add more to your positions? And is this a stock that you would pick based on fundamentals and valuations in the hospitality space?
So we are very much positive on Indian hotel as of now, although ITC hotel is also looking good to us. But as we know that now the demerger has happened. And in fact, on 29th of January, when they have declared the results, so nothing has been, posted on those numbers. It was just a 70 lakh of profit, I suppose, if I'm not wrong with my numbers of the profit they have shown. So now the company is saying now they have to, show their performance in the coming quarters. So right now, rather than going for the ITC hotels, although it is a strong counter, but I think Indian hotel is better placed at this juncture. And let this stock perform on the financial front, and then we can add more. This is what I believe. So right now, my idea is whatever holding you have, keep invested in that. But if you want to add some more counter in this space, then Indian hotel is our preferable choice.
Okay, Indian hotels is something to watch out for. By the way, Shalby reported numbers. It was a bit of a disappointment. I think it's down in trade today. It was down about 4%. Continues to be down about 4.5%. Let's talk about the next one. Manappuram is a question from Yuvraj. He was writing in from Bengaluru. He's bought at levels of 166.92. The stock is currently trading above that at 200. Should he hold or should he book profits at this juncture? Swati, on the charts, what does it suggest?
Alex, the chart really looks very promising on the monthly or the weekly charts. It's continuously trading in the upward direction, high tops, high bottom formations. I believe that it has a very strong potential to reach up to the all-time high level, which comes to at around 230. So that will be the first target, and beyond that level, 245 levels can be seen. So I will suggest to hold on the long positions. Downside, it has a very good support at around 190. So as long as the stock sustains above that level, definitely you can hold on your long position by maintaining a profit stop loss of 190 for a target of 230 levels.
All right. I must point out, I got my names confused. Shalby is in the healthcare space. Let's talk about the next question, and we've got Sagility India. Kabir Tejwani, who's writing in from Karnataka and asking about this. He's bought 399 at a price of 40 rupees per share. He's asking if he can hold for the next 3 to 4 years. The question is to you, Asta, on the fundamentals, would you hold on?
Yes, sure. Definitely, I would like to hold this counter. In fact, when the IPO came way back, I think in November, December, I remember, then also we were positive on this counter. So, yes, this company is looking very strong to us because the kind of healthcare services they are providing, especially in the US healthcare market, they have got a very strong, holding. And in fact, the financials were also in a very, very strong position. The only fact which I'm right now not liking, because I'm tracking this counter since its IPO, is that it has risen a lot. So the price to earning multiples are a little bit concerning. Otherwise, this is a good long-term fundamental story to keep invested in. So idea here is to stay invested in this counter.
Okay. Stay invested. Astha, thanks so much for that. Swati, do stay with us. Astha as well. We have to slip into a very quick break. There's more on the other side, so do stay tuned.
चला पटकन पटकन.
Hello and welcome to NDTV Profit.
The blessings of Ma Lakshmi that Prime Minister spoke about, will they shine on the middle class and the taxpayer?
The market will not be disappointed.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman with the Bahi Khata, they're getting ready to go in and present the budget.
I present the budget for 25-26 that there will be no income tax payable up to income of 12 lakh rupees.
ये बजट जो है बहुत ही RRR है. इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि रिफॉर्मिस्ट भी है, रिस्पॉन्सिबल भी है और रिवॉल्यूशनरी भी है.
जब मैं था तब हरी नहीं, जब हरी है मैं नाही. प्रेम गली अति साकरी, जामे दो न समाए.
This is another level. This is
how a special Saturday session should end.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What's the picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know your company, powered by NDTV Profits Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers. Know your company at 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, only on NDTV Profit.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What's the picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know your company, powered by NDTV Profits Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers. Know your company at 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, only on NDTV Profit.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What's the picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know your company, powered by NDTV Profits Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers. Know your company at 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, only on NDTV Profit.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What's the picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know your company, powered by NDTV Profits Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers. Know your company at 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, only on NDTV Profit.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
चला चला पटकन पटकन.
Hello and welcome to NDTV Profit.
The blessings of Ma Lakshmi that Prime Minister spoke about, will they shine on the middle class and the taxpayer?
The market will not be disappointed.
Finance Minister.
Hi, welcome back. You're watching Ask Profit, and while we were on break, in fact, you saw the equity markets come off more than they have over the last 1 hour or so, and in fact the Nifty 50 not as much, in fact more so in the broader market. So let's pull up the mid cap index, which is down over 1% from the high point of the day, and you have the small cap index is down about 0.8% from the high point of the day, and at this juncture only gains of about 1/3% for the small cap index. Advanced decline ratio still in favor of the advances, but some of those gains are being taken out. Just very quickly, Swati, anything to note on the technical standpoint? Was this something that you were anticipating, a little bit of a drop off in the velocity?
We can witness if the Nifty fails to sustain the above for 23,440, that is a very crucial level provided by the 61.8% of the Fibonacci retracements. So if Nifty today's closing is very much important. If it's closed below the 23,440 levels, then such kind of a profit booking can be seen, or this kind of a leg will be extended back towards to 23,200 to 23,000 levels on the downside. On a higher side, it is acting a crucial resistance. Nifty is facing at around 23,600 level. So as long as it doesn't go beyond that level, a fresh buying cannot be witnessed into the market. So today's closing will play a crucial role into the market. So we need to keep a keen eye on the levels of 23,440 levels.
All right, interesting. Today's closing will play a key level is what Swati is saying with respect to the markets ahead. We have a next query from Zamir, who's from Chennai. He wants to know your views, Astha, with respect to Ircon International. He's holding 1,000 shares at an average price of 285. Should he keep holding it or exit?
So my idea here is to stay invested, although the time period now should be extended to at least 6 to 9 months, because what we are seeing that there is a one-sided profit booking which is happening right now in all the railways counter, because what we were expecting in the budget was not coming out to be that strong for this sector, especially railway sector. So this is one of the major reason, and for these companies, their order book holds the utmost importance. And if budget allocation is not that strongly toward this sector, definitely in the longer term, because they have an order book for coming at least 1 to 2 years, but over that, I mean, that always creates a question. So that is the reason we are seeing a downfall in these stock prices. Maybe the stock prices can correct more, but horizon should be 6 to 9 months. Then only one can remain invested in this company.
Okay. All right. Amrita G is writing in from Rajkot and asking about a stock that has been in focus, Mahindra and Mahindra. I want to know if the strength remains or has it given up a little bit of ground. Let's pull that up. It's trading still with gains of about 1% or so. Actually, it's down. It's lost ground, right? I was looking at the longer term chart. So it is down. It's lost quite a bit of ground, but yesterday it gained quite considerably in the second half of the session. Let's see if that strength comes through again. But she wants to know about M&M. She's bought at levels of 1,893 and she's got 9 shares. So she's seeing tremendous gains. Should she sell it or wait and, with the potential of more profit? Swati, what's the view on the charts?
Alex's view is definitely positive. Today it has just made a new all-time high at around 32.70. After such kind of a higher levels of profit bookings cannot be denied. But today I believe we are not witnessing much more selling pressures because of the market pressure. We have seen a little bit of a fall of almost 1% in this particular counter, but I believe it has this very strong potential to reach up to 3,340, 3,350 levels on the higher side. So I will suggest not to in a hurry to book the profits. If possible, try to maintain the strict stop loss of 3,050 levels on the downside, which is the support provided by its short-term moving averages of the Bollinger Band. So by maintaining that profit stop loss, you can definitely hold on your long positions for immediate target of 3,350 levels on the high side.
Okay. All right. So, in fact, let's talk about M&M because a few things have stood out. You saw the numbers not too long back. The volume numbers for the month of January, in fact. And what is positive is that they've seen very good volumes in both of their segments. Of course, they have the automotive segment, which is their SUV segment, which a lot of it has to do with urban demand, and you have the tractor sales, which have been very good as well. So some part of that is being reflected in the stock price, and of course the budget booster, if you can call it that, should bolster consumption as well. But another stock that is in focus on earnings is GIC Re. GIC Reinsurance is up and about in trade today, 3.7%. It's on the back of its 16% jump in net profit. We caught up with Ramaswamy Narayanan, who's a chairman and managing director of the company. Here's what he said about the numbers.
Normally, our business is such that, the fourth quarter for us, which is the Jan, Feb, March quarter, is normally the better quarter because worldwide you normally don't have any catastrophic events happening. So I must say this year we started off with a catastrophic event in Los Angeles. So in that sense, it is slightly different, but the point is we have already provided for it in our Q3 quarter as it is, because once we got to know about the loss, of course, our loss from there is expected to be very small. It's not major at all, but then we have already provided for it in the Q3 quarter again. So yes, going forward, we would expect the fourth quarter to be better.
All right. Now, on the earnings, while we're speaking about it, let's also talk about Alembic Pharma. And it's posted its numbers for the third quarter. Let's talk about the headline numbers. The revenue is up as much as 3.8, nearly 4%. The margins have contracted, coming in at 15.4% compared with 16.3% in the comparable quarter. And the PAT is down about 24%. From the takeaways that we've seen, they've looked at a little bit of a headwind in the acute segment, and there's also the API business that is seeing pricing pressure. Let's talk about these with the management. We're joined by Shaunak Amin, who is the managing director of Alembic Pharma. Mr. Amin, thank you so much for taking the time. Have we looked at the key elements that have led to that performance? What, according to you, stood out in the quarter gone by?
I think clearly, market conditions have not been the best for us, both in the India business as well as some pricing pressure on the API side as well as in the US side. I think the positives that we've seen is I think we've been able to build volumes in the US, which has led to a decent growth despite the erosion in margins. Sorry, the pricing pressure in the US. I think in terms of India and the API segment, I think it's a matter of new products kicking in for the API side to build up some growth numbers. And I think on Q3, it's a combination predominantly of lack of a market, or rather market headwinds, in the acute side of our business, along with some amount of internal operational challenges that have led to these numbers. I think the internal operation challenges in Q4 should be addressed. And the sense we're getting is the market headwinds are easing up a touch on the India business side also.
I'll come back to that. I'll circle back to that. But on the first point that you made about the generics doing well and offsetting some of that impact, I see that the US generics has grown about 10%, 521 crore. Now, very substantial. What is the outlook there? Does that keep growing?
Yeah, so like I said, I think we've been able to offset the pricing pressure through volume increase. So I think we expect this trends to continue.
To what extent, though, Mr. Amin? Do you see that becoming a more meaningful part of the overall revenue mix? And how do we see that progressing heading into the next year as well?
It's hard to, we don't give forward guidances, so it's hard for me to comment at this point in time. But I think directionally, we're in the right trajectory.
Right. Mr. Amin, Mahima also joining in. You mentioned pricing pressure and you said to some extent volumes will be able to kind of offset the pricing pressure. But do you think that the companies are now expected to live with this kind of pressure, or do you see improvement going ahead from a macro perspective?
So I think the point I made was we had pricing pressures in Q3, which we offset through a big volume increase. That's just the nature of the beast. I think the US markets is going to be under pressure on pricing consistently. So that I don't think that scenario will change at any point in the future.
Ms. Amin, last quarter there were some concerns with respect to the API customers. Has there been any progress there? Has that been resolved? What's the status there?
No, so I think the API business, I think like you said, it should be it's some amount of price erosion as well as I think new products kicking in. I think it should pick up in the coming quarters.
All right. And in terms of the automation, there has been enhanced automation and there has been AI transition also, which has kind of partly impacted the growth as well in Q3. Do you expect that to continue going on in Q4 and ahead in FY26 as well?
No, so I think that's a critical lever for us going forward to help drive growth. I think it's a matter of getting adoption across a large number of people and transitioning into that. That's taking time. I think we're quite confident operationally we should be past these issues, and actually some of these internal initiatives will help kick in growth going forward.
Okay. Last question, Q4 better than Q3 in your opinion in all the key operating metrics that you're tracking?
As of so far in Jan, yes.
Fantastic. Mr. Amin, thanks so much for joining in. Pleasure speaking with you as always.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks. All right, let's switch back to the questions that you've sent us. And there's one specifically for Asta. And Raghavendra is written in. He's writing in from Bengaluru. And he says that he's a fan of Asta ma'am. And so this one's for you. Blue Star is the name of the counter. He wants to know whether he should buy this based on your assessment. What's the view, Asta?
So, Blue Star, first of all, a very, very thank you to appreciate my efforts. I always try to give fair, analysis, because fundamental analysis is a very, very, big thing. And there are many stocks. So, try my level best to cover as much as I can.
And we appreciate that.
To give me opportunity.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Alex was always there, even in the past also, he always, there to give me such kind of opportunity. So I'm always very, very thankful to Alex for this. Now, talking about Blue Star company, I think it is not a right time to enter into this counter. We are not very much positive on this counter because there are certain reasons. First of all, valuations are high. Secondly, markets are in not good position. Although we know that yes, budget has certain provision that always increase the demand of these products. But my idea is until unless you don't post strong set of numbers, markets not always reward you just on the basis of the news. So idea here is to just wait for some more time before making entry into this counter, because even from the valuation point of view, we are all not very comfortable.
All right, so it's a no entry for Blue Star as of now from Astha. We have our next caller, Harish from Andhra Pradesh is calling in. Harish, a very good morning to you. How can we help you?
Yeah, very good morning. Yes, my query is regarding ITC. I mean, at what price it is a good time to buy shares, and does this share has a potential to grow 5 to 10% in next 6 to 8 months?
6 to 8 months. Okay, so you want a technical view on this counter. Swati, I'll come to you straight away. ITC 6 to 8 months, 50. He said 5 to 6, 5 to 10%. 5 to 10%. Is that possible on the charts?
Yes, definitely. I believe that as of now, the stock is heading towards the oversold zone. So we are likely to see the extension of this fall to be continued to minimum to at around 420 level. So between the 420 to 400 level, that is a very attractive price to take a long positions or the fresh long positions, because those are the levels which has been tested in the initial months of the 2024. So I believe that that will act as a very crucial support level for this particular counters, and thereafter we will witness some consolidation. Then upside rally can be resumed, which might take a counter towards to 480 to 500 levels. So I will suggest to, if you want to take any fresh long positions, try to build up between the range of 420 to 400 levels.
Okay. All right. PCBL is the next stock that we're talking about. There was a UBS note, if I remember correctly, on PCBL that talked about potential for this, and they're building in a 27% CAGR growth over the next 5 financial years. It's quite considerable, right? So let's talk about this, because we've got a question on WhatsApp, and this is from Vinita, who's asking whether it is the right time to enter into the stock, and what is the level and target that you would keep for a 2-year time frame. Asta, what's the view on PCBL, and would you say it's a good time to buy?
So I would like to say just wait for some more time, because in the results what I'm seeing is that the bottom line is heavy, but there are certain other income and extra ordinary items that are keeping it heavy. So we really need to see the results in detail. Idea here is to just wait for some more time, because if I'm seeing the results and also on the margin front, the margins were not that very strong as compared to last year, especially operating profit margin I'm talking about. So let it fall more and then make entry into this counter. Although I know there has been a coverage by big brokers, big brokerages, but my idea here is to let it fall more and then make entry into this counter.
Okay, so wait for some time and then make entry is the view coming in from Astha on PCBL. The next counter that we're talking about is South Indian Bank. Niva from Chennai wants to make a new investment in this particular counter from a longer term perspective, and she wants to know with respect to the outlook and the correct levels to enter South Indian Bank. Astha, I'll come to you again for this one. Your view on South Indian Bank?
So South Indian Bank, I think it's a good, bank. But right now we are seeing that in fact PSUs are also, especially PSU banking space is also not getting that much of attraction. So entry into this counter would demand some more fall from my side, and hence we are recommending that let it fall more and then make entry into this counter. But we are positive on other PSU bank, in which Bank of India and in fact Jammu and Kashmir Bank is also looking good to us at this point of time, purely from the valuation perspective. So Bank of India and Jammu Kashmir Bank are the 2 PSU banks in which we are positive at this point of time.
Okay. Sanjay from Gurugram is calling us. Sanjay, hi, good morning. And you want to know about Hindustan Aeronautics. What is the question?
It is HUL, Alex.
Okay, it's HUL.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Hindustan Unilever and not HAL. Which is why my team was wondering, they thought that it was a 4 lakh profit, and it is not. It's still a profit though. Sanjay, what would you like to know?
Yeah, I have accumulated this HUL shares for last 2-3 years, and it is almost on the sideways and downtrend. Should I continue to hold for long term?
Okay, that's a good question. So you're holding this as part of your portfolio. Would you also think about adding more if that is the recommendation, Sanjay?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So Asta, the question is a valid one, and I think a lot of people are wondering this, right? So if you talk about the consumption space, HUL is languished a little bit. Would you suggest, and because I think a lot of people focused in on the valuation, so then would you say that it's a good stock to buy, considering that while it is off its long-term multiples, it's still not a stock that is growing as quickly, or company is not growing as quickly in terms of earnings as it used to. So from that perspective, yes, you should hold it in your portfolio, a lot of people say, but then maybe not add as aggressively as you were before. Is that the right approach?
Yes, even I believe that aggressively adding this counter does not make the case as of now. Now, why? Because first of all, results were not up to the mark. Some of these segments, especially hygiene segment, was not able to perform. Although we have seen home care segment, and especially on the volume front, the home care segment was able to perform. But still, margins are in pressure. Why margins are in pressure? Because input cost is still creating some sort of hurdles for the financials of this company. So I think when margins are in pressure, results are not up to the mark. So whatever valuation you see, I think that valuations always seems to be on higher side. There is no harm to wait for more fall to come in and then make entry into this counter because these results are not so attractive that the stock can again take a strong fly and move on the northward direction. So idea here is to just wait for more fall to come in and then make entry into this counter. So accumulation is the strategy which we can adopt rather than adding at this point of a time, and accumulation can also be done at the lower levels of around 400 to 380.
So that's the view coming in on HUL. The next counter that we're talking about is Godavari Power and Aspat. Rajan Iyer has been holding this counter since May 2022. He has 1,010 shares at an average cost of 225. And this includes all split and bonus as well. He's a long-term investor and he wants to hold it for another 2 to 3 years. And he wants to know the view with respect to this counter. Astha, if you have this covered, what's the view?
First of all, I want to correct myself. For HUL, my levels were 2,400 to 2,380 because I think I just spoke 400 to 380. So might be there can be a confusion. It's 2,400 to 2,380 levels where one can accumulate the counter. So now talking about Godavari Power and Aspat, not very much, studied this counter in a detail. But right now, I think that power companies are really, not in a very sweet spot. And talking about this counter, we feel that this counter has a potential to move downside from here because valuations are again looking higher, keeping in mind the kind of financial performance these spaces are posting. So Godavari Power and Aspat is not looking strong to us at this moment of time.
Right, moving on to our next caller, Ram from Hyderabad is calling in. Ram, a very good morning to you. How can we help you?
Yeah, good morning, madam. I have purchased at high rate Tejas Network 1240.
Okay.
It has fallen down drastically. Can I average it? I am a long-term investor.
Okay. Astha, I will straight away come to you on this particular counter. Tejas Networks is what he's holding and he's sitting on a loss of around 38 odd thousand rupees. What's your view with respect to this counter?
So view is positive, mainly on the basis of the results which this company has posted. And I can say if I exclude the other income and extraordinary item, then this is a turnaround quarter for this company as compared to last year. So a positive view is coming for this counter, although viewer is making losses. But I think in the longer term, definitely this counter will again yield, positivity. So stay invested in this counter.
Okay. All right, stay invested is the call. It is time now to hit the rapid fire segment. Ladies, you know what this means. We have to throw as many questions as we can at you over the course of 2 minutes, and you have to give us short, concise, but useful answers. It's quite the challenge. Let me start with a question on Tata Motors. Sunil Kumar is holding at levels of 550. He's wondering whether to add more at the current juncture for the long term. Swati on the charts?
Can hold your long positions but not to add at the current market price. Let the stock may find out a support levels between the 670 to 650. At that point of level you can take a fresh long positions, but overall view is positive. You can hold your long position.
Alright, Bajaj Finance is breaching 52-week high is what our viewer is saying. Should he hold or book profits? On the chart, Swati?
Definitely, the overall view is positive. I believe it has a very strong potential to reach up to 8600 level. So one can hold your long positions. If you want to keep any profit stop loss, 8220 is the crucial swing supports level. So by maintaining that as a stop loss, you can carry your long positions for a higher target.
Okay, Praj is the name of the counter, and we've got Pradeep, who's bought at levels of 580 and or is considering buying at 580. Asa, on the fundamentals, would you buy?
No, I prefer to buy at a lower level because results were not up to the mark.
Alright, Gul wants to know as to what could be the right price to enter Avenue Supermarts at present. Swati, on the charts?
On the charts as of now, definitely he can buy at the current market price as well because it's showing a positive divergence from the oversold zone. So 20-30% can be accumulated at the current market price. And if you're getting any dips towards 3500, you can add on more positions. I'm looking for a target of 4400 to 4500 levels on the high side.
Okay, Finolex Industries, this is a question from Yatish, who's writing in from Mumbai. He's bought at levels of 272. He's wondering whether to hold or book loss. What's the view, Asta?
Hold is a strategy from our side with a price target of 215 to 220 at the initial levels.
Alright, Reliance is the counter. I think this is on, okay, let's take KFinTech. Gaurav Arora is holding 150 shares of KFinTech at 1602. Should he hold or average? Swati, on the charts?
Definitely, you can hold out at the current market price as well. And if you want to do the average, if your stock is getting down towards 2020 levels, you can add on. Upside, we can see if the stock manages to give the breakout for 1200 levels, 1300, 1400s can be levels in. So for the longer term and the short term duration, my view is positive.
Got it. Thanks so much, Asta, as well as Swati, for joining in, for answering all the questions that you did. Always a pleasure having you on the program.
Yes, so much.
All right, that brings us to the end of this edition of Ask Profit. Thanks so much for tuning in. From Mahima and myself and the team that put the show together, thank you so much for watching. Do stay tuned. Lots more coming up on NDTV Profit.
चला पटकन पटकन.
Hello and welcome to NDTV Profit.
The blessings of Ma Lakshmi that Prime Minister spoke about, will they shine on the middle class and the taxpayer?
The market will not be disappointed.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman with the Bahi Khada, they're getting ready to go in and present the budget.
I present the budget for 25-26. I am now happy to announce that there will be no income tax payable up to income of 12 lakh rupees.
ये बजट जो है बहुत ही आर है. इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि रिफॉर्मिस्ट भी है, रिस्पॉन्सिबल भी है और रिवॉल्यूशनरी भी है.
जब मैं था तब हरी नहीं, जब हरी है मैं ना ही. प्रेम गली अति साकरी, जामे दो न समाए.
This is another level. This is another level.
This is how a special Saturday session should end.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What's the picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know Your Company, powered by NDTV Profits Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers. Know Your Company at 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, only on NDTV Profit.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What's the picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know Your Company, powered by NDTV Profits Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers. Know Your Company at 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, only on NDTV Profit.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What's the picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know Your Company, powered by NDTV Profits Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers. Know Your Company at 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, only on NDTV Profit.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What's the picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know Your Company, powered by NDTV Profits Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers. Know Your Company at 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday, only on NDTV Profit.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with
Hello and welcome to KYC, a show designed to give regular investors powerful, actionable insights into the fundamentals of a single NSE listed company every day. Today we are talking about Quess Corp. Quess Corp has been around for quite a while now, but it specifically deals with, well, human resources. We'll tell you a little bit more about Quess Corp. Now, starting off with, what the company does. Well, it does provide technology-enabled staffing and manage outsourcing services. It also provides, in fact, services such as sales, marketing, and customer care, and after-sales services as well. But it essentially deals with human capital, and human capital is which gets disseminated wherever there's a requirement. That's where the company comes in and fills in the gap for their respective clients. And it provides, it's followed by human resource management solutions. The company got listed back in 2016. So, it's been 9 years since it has been around, at least as far as the stock markets are concerned, doing well as well. Now, at this point in time, in terms of the revenue contribution for FY24, a significant amount of its revenues come from workforce management. That's followed by global technology solutions and operating asset management, and a little bit by product-led businesses. And we'll talk a little bit more about this in detail in just a bit. But, as we usually do, we talk about the company's, many aspects with respect to the income statement, the balance sheet, the cash flow,